Get ready for a lot of June weddings. The California Supreme Court has spoken. The ban on gay marriage, unconstitutional. Good evening, I'm Jessica Aguirre. Today's ruling sparked cheers on one side and disappointment on the other. But while some same-sex couples are already calling the florists, the fight to keep marriage between a man and a woman is heading to a polling booth near you. We have team coverage tonight on the ruling, reaction from both sides, and the legal and political implications of this. We're going to start things off with NBC 11's Cheryl Hurd with the court's decision. Cheryl.
Well, Jessica, it all happened here on the steps of the state Supreme Court. And here's the decision, all 172 pages of it, a history-making moment for California.
Will you marry me? She's crying.
Tears of joy on the steps of the California Supreme Court in San Francisco. Gay marriage is now legal in this state, and it means so much to the people here celebrating, especially those who have children.
This means that he can fully stand in our family, and that's one of the things he talked about from being a 9-year-old kid, where, you have to have the right lunch and the right parents and the right family.
Today, California Supreme Court spoke in favor of gay and lesbian families. In a 4-3 decision, the justices said the state's ban on same-sex marriage violates the fundamental constitutional right to form a family. Diane Sabin and her partner Jewel Gomez are plaintiffs in the lawsuit.
So we've got our legislature, who has not once but twice voted for us. We now have our state Supreme Court.
As people cried and cheered today, opponents of gay marriage say the court made a bad move.
The court overstepped its bounds. And rather than just interpret the law, it made new law.
Today's ruling resolves several lawsuits that were filed in 2004 by the city and county of San Francisco and 14 same-sex couples. In February 2004, Mayor Gavin Newsom started a firestorm of debate on same-sex marriage by ordering marriage licenses to some 4,000 couples. The state ordered him to stop. Today, he feels a victory.
It's about human dignity. It's about civil rights. It's about time in California.
Now, the history-making moment won't go into effect for 30 more days. Reporting live in San Francisco, I'm Cheryl Hurd, NBC 11 News.
Thank you, Cheryl. Jubilant is one way to describe San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom's reaction to the news today. It was the mayor, as you just heard, who set the wheels in motion and challenged California law. Mayor Newsom joins us now live from City Hall. Thank you so much for being with us, Mayor Newsom. We know you're happy with the court's decision. Do you feel legally vindicated as well?
I don't know about that. I'll leave that to you and more objective minds. I just feel honored to be part of this time, this moment in life where we can affirm the lives of literally millions of Californians, and for that matter, tens of millions of Americans and millions more around the world, that we're looking for just a sense of optimism and a moment where we're starting to feel a little bit more pessimistic about the issue, that their lives matter as much as my life or your life or other people's lives in terms of their ability to live it out loud, to live it with equality, to live it with dignity, and live it with the kind of respect that people, regardless of their race, religion, or sexual orientation, deserve.
Now, Mayor, the ruling had barely been made public, and already opponents of gay marriage were saying that they're going to ask for a stay so that you can't perform the marriages, and that they are going to be putting it on the November ballot. Do you anticipate performing marriages at City Hall like you did in 2004?
Yeah, we certainly expect here at City Hall in San Francisco, but across the state, in Placer County, down in San Diego County, in Central Valley of the state of California. Here's the largest state in our union, a conservative California Supreme Court. 6 out of the 7 justices were appointed by conservative governors. This is an historic and extraordinary tipping point in the gay rights movement, and there'll be marriages performed up and down the state unquestionably. They'll play these games, they'll drag this thing out, but there'll be tens of thousands of couples who come together and express their love and devotion and faith in one another, and then we will come to the ballot this November and decide whether we want to pull the rug out from under all of those that were legally sanctioned in terms of their marriages, or whether or not we want to put this to rest once and for all and move on with our lives and start focusing on the things that unite us around healthcare and education, the environment, and other things.
What do you say to the Democrats, those that are rumbling that this could hurt the Democratic Party in an election year by moving some voters, those on-the-fence voters or dispirited voters, over to McCain? Do you think that you've given them a rallying point?
Well, I'm fed up with tactics. I'm fed up with being a member of a Democratic Party that cares more about winning than what it is we're supposed to do once we win. If we can't stand up on the principle of supporting gay and lesbian rights, then how dare we claim to support civil rights or human rights or women's rights? That's the basis of the foundation of our party. And so for me, with all due respect to those that are playing tactical games, that are concerned about the politics today or tomorrow, there'll never be a good time to do this. It wasn't good 2 years ago during the congressional midterm elections. It wasn't good enough 4 years ago because of the presidential elections. It's not good enough today. Won't be good enough 2 years ago now for the governor's race. It's never the right time, and that's why it is the right time. We have an obligation, a moral and ethical one, and I'm just proud to be part of it, a small part, and I couldn't be more proud of the state of California for taking the leadership yet again and twinning ourselves with the good work that Massachusetts did a year or two ago.
Have you heard from any of the Democratic candidates running or party leaders like Speaker Pelosi today?
Well, I haven't, but we heard a public statement read today by Speaker Pelosi applauding the decision by the California Supreme Court, condemning the effort this November and opposing it on the ballot. I couldn't be more proud of her and that. And there are Democrats up and down the state that have called to celebrate. And so I just couldn't be more exuberant and optimistic about the future.
One last question, Mayor. I know you performed some of those weddings yourself in 2004. You expect to do some again come in June?
Yeah, I just did one, and that was my chief of staff moments before the Supreme Court said enough was enough in 2004. If asked, I do weddings all the time, and now it's my honor to do weddings in a non-discriminatory manner, and I'd be honored and blessed if someone asked me. I
think somebody will be asking you, I'm sure. Thank you very much, Mayor Newsom, for joining us. Well, same-sex couples all across the state are celebrating tonight, especially in San Francisco, where this marriage battle began 4 years ago. NBC 11's Tracy Grant is in the Castro, where celebration is in full swing.
This is my partner of 23 years and my two sons, Zane and Aiden.
A priest married Kevin Fisher Paulson and his partner in the back of a bar 21 years ago. It wasn't legal, but it was as close as they could get. But now,
21 years later, I get to make him an honest man.
Just one of many people in the Castro district today moved by the state Supreme Court ruling declaring same-sex marriage legal. The atmosphere was emotional and triumphant.
The amazing ruling today?
Yeah.
No, this is great. We're thrilled. 13 years.
Yeah, 13 years.
So this is the best ever.
A man walks down the street carrying his own gay pride flag. A store is offering a hastily planned celebration sale.
Yeah.
Michael Bettinger said he was online precisely at 10 a.m. reading the lengthy document.
Somewhere around page 5, the decision finally came and I broke out crying. It was that emotional.
It'll make a big difference in my life because I intend to marry my partner hopefully sometime next year. We're looking at City Hall in May. Please come.
Most people realize that this is still not a done deal.
They'll probably end up being tied up in the courts in one way or another for a very long time, but at least now there's precedent, and I think that's important.
We are here at a great big party at the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender Center, and a lot of people here just came because they'd like to party now that a battle has been won, but they also know that this is not the end of the war. For many, this has been a very exciting day, but no one seems to deny the fact that there's probably more conflict around the corner. Live in San Francisco, Tracy Grant, NBC 11 News.
All right, thank you very much, Tracy. That conflict's not going to be coming from one man. He vetoed gay marriage legislation twice before, but tonight California's Republican governor says he respects the court's ruling and that he will not support an amendment to overturn that decision. NBC 11's Diane Dwyer is live in Sacramento, where she just spoke to Governor Schwarzenegger. Diane, what did he have to say?
Well, Jessica, I had a very interesting conversation with the governor just about an hour ago here at the state capitol building. He told me, as you mentioned, that he will respect the state Supreme Court's decision, and he opposes the proposal to put a constitutional ban on gay marriage on the ballot. So, does that mean he now supports gay marriage? No, he still opposes gay marriage. He just won't fight it. Although I must say he was very careful in choosing his words. Listen carefully. Have you changed your opinion?
No, not at all. I mean, I think that this, to me, what is important is that the court has spoken, and that's what the law that we follow.
But you said you don't believe in gay marriage, and you just said now to me that you don't have a problem with it. That seems...
I don't have a problem with it. I'm against it, but I have no problem with it.
So you are against it still?
No, I have no problem with it.